He humiliated her in front of everyone. He was the all-powerful CEO boss, she was his top manager. For one trivial mistake, he publicly demoted her. But what this arrogant boss didn't know was that the woman he just destroyed was the secret owner of his #1 rival. Have you ever felt completely invisible? Ever been made to feel small, to have your worth crushed by someone in power? It's a drama that breaks your faith. This is the emotional, life-changing story of Wayne Fox, the CEO who thought he was untouchable, and Selina Baker, the woman with a secret identity he so carelessly wronged. This isn't just a boss-employee story, it's a journey of revenge, redemption, and a plot twist that will leave you shocking. This is not your typical love story, this is high-stakes corporate drama. What happens when the man who saw her as just an employee discovers she's the brilliant owner he's been trying to destroy? If you are ready for this undercover ride, comment plot twist right now. Like this video as a sign of respect for her patience, share this with anyone who loves a story of true redemption, and subscribe. You won't want to miss a second of what happens next. It's a funny thing, power. It can make a man, or it can just reveal the monster that was always lurking. For Wayne Fox, the CEO boss of the Titan Fox Industries, power was just oxygen. He breathed it, he lived it, and he used it to suffocate others. On this particular Tuesday, his target was Selina Baker, ironically his best manager, a woman whose competence was the only thing holding his chaotic company together. The air was thick with that special kind of corporate drama only he could create. The mistake was, by all accounts, laughably small. A typo on page 40 of a 200-page report. Insignificant. But Wayne Fox, feeling the pressure from a mysterious new rival that seemed to anticipate his every move, was in no mood for mercy. He saw weakness, and he pounced. He called the entire executive team into the main conference room, the glass-walled cage where he performed his sacrifices, and he put Selina Baker front and center. This, he boomed, his voice dripping with condescension, is failure. He threw the report onto the table, the sound echoing like a gunshot. Selina Baker stood silent, absorbing the energy in the room. She watched the other managers squirm, grateful it wasn't them. This wasn't just a correction, it was a public execution, a shocking display of ego. He was about to make a life-changing decision, and he didn't even know it was his own life he was changing. Effective immediately, you are demoted, Wayne declared, a cruel smirk playing on his lips. You'll be moving to the archives. Maybe you can learn to proofread in the dark down there. The room was dead silent. Selina felt the eyes on her, a mix of pity and fear. She had been humiliated. This boss-employee dynamic had just turned into a dark, twisted drama, and the whole company was watching the fallout. What Wayne couldn't see, what his ego blinded him to, was the quiet, steel-like calm in Selina's eyes. There was no surprise, no tears, no begging. She simply nodded. This man thought he was crushing a subordinate, a simple employee. He had absolutely no idea, not a single clue, that he had just publicly humiliated the secret owner of Apex Solutions, the very rival that was currently eating his lunch. The plot twist was so rich, so profound, it was almost comical. Selina Baker, the woman he just sent to the basement, was the anonymous, brilliant strategist who had built her company from scratch with one goal to eventually acquire his. This wasn't a setback for her, it was a front-row ticket. She wasn't demoted, she was going undercover in the belly of the beast. The delicious irony was that this arrogant CEO had just handed his greatest enemy the keys to the kingdom. He thought he was asserting his dominance, but he was actually starting a love story. Though it wouldn't feel like one for a very long time. It would be a story of revenge, redemption, and the emotional unraveling of a man who had everything, but understood nothing. As Selina picked up the report, she gave him a simple, "Yes, Mr. Fox." The secret identity was safe. The game was on. He wanted corporate drama. Oh, she'd give it to him. What's the one word you'd use to describe Wayne's shocking move? Drop it in the comments. This was not an end, it was the beginning of his end, and potentially, his only chance at redemption. So, down she went. The archives were exactly what you'd expect: a cold, dimly lit graveyard of forgotten deals and dusty binders. It was a place for the demoted, the forgotten, the ones the company had humiliated and left to rot. For Wayne Fox, sending Selina Baker here was the final nail in her coffin. For Selina, the secret owner of the rival, it was like being given the building's blueprint. The basement was where the company's real secrets were kept. Selina, known to the company as a simple, hard-working manager, never complained. She just worked. She organized files that hadn't been touched in a decade. She observed the flow of information, who requested what, which departments were in panic mode. From her undercover position, she saw the corporate drama from the ground up. She saw the fear the boss inspired and the resentment that festered just beneath the surface. This was a life-changing perspective. Up in the executive suite, she managed strategy. Down here, she saw the emotional rot. She saw how Wayne's cutthroat culture created backstabbing and inefficiency. His teams weren't innovative, they were terrified. They didn't collaborate, they hid. This intel was better than any market research. She wasn't just in plain sight, she was invisible, and invisibility, she knew, was a superpower. Meanwhile, the drama in the main office continued. Wayne Fox was busy fighting a multi-front war, oblivious to the fact that his greatest asset was cataloging invoices in the sublevel. He was so focused on his rival that he couldn't see the real strategic mind was no longer in the boardroom. He was fighting a ghost, all while the secret owner of that ghost was listening to the building's very heartbeat. Selina's quiet observation was a masterclass in patience. She was gathering data, not just on the company's financials, but on its soul. This wasn't just about revenge, it was about understanding. If she was to honestly take this company over, she needed to know what she was buying. Was there anything worth saving?
Or was the rot too deep? Thanks to its current owner, the boss-employee dynamic was shattered, but a new one was forming. She was no longer his manager, she was his anthropologist. She watched him on internal video feeds during town halls, noting his body language, his triggers, his blatant arrogance. He was a puzzle, and she was patiently putting the shocking pieces together. The real plot twist is that she didn't hate him. Not yet. She found him. Fascinating. A fascinating, dangerous, and deeply broken problem. A problem she would have to solve, one way or another. The revenge she was planning wasn't just about business. It was about showing him what true love for a company and oneself actually looked like. This quiet period was her sharpening the blade. She was gathering the intel needed for the next phase, all while being the perfect, demoted employee. Her secret identity was her shield, her brilliance her weapon. The quiet brilliance he was about to miss day after day, he thought had ended her story. He didn't realize she was the author of his. Days turned into weeks, and a strange rhythm settled in. Wayne Fox, blinded by an ego the size of his own skyscraper, would occasionally see Selina Baker in the cafeteria. He'd see her grabbing a coffee, her attire simpler, her presence smaller. He didn't see a secret owner or a brilliant manager. He saw a ghost. He saw the woman he had demoted, the employee he had so thoroughly humiliated, and he felt nothing, or so he told himself. He treated her with a condescension that was almost reflexive, a curt nod, a dismissive glance. He was the boss, and she was a help. He had no idea he was looking at the owner of the rival company that was systematically dismantling his legacy. This corporate drama was a one-man show in his head, and he was the hero. He completely, utterly missed the quiet brilliance she displayed every single day, even in the archives. It's a special kind of blindness, isn't it? The kind that comes from believing you are the only person in the room who matters. Wayne was so busy looking for a shocking attack from his rival that he couldn't see the undercover strategist right under his nose. Selina, meanwhile, wasn't just sitting idle. Her menial position was proving to be a life-changing opportunity. She wasn't just observing, she was testing. She'd make a small suggestion to a frantic junior accountant, a quiet observation to a stressed-out logistics coordinator who came down looking for a lost file. She'd see a problem, and with a few keystrokes, solve it, leaving no fingerprints. She was a ghost in the machine, fixing the very foundation the company Wayne was letting crumble. This boss-employee relationship was the ultimate plot twist. He thought he was punishing her, but had given her free rein. He saw her as a cautionary tale, a lesson in what happens when you fail him. He missed the emotional strength, the unwavering dignity. He missed the secret smile she gave when she had untangled a massive logistical knot from a dusty terminal, saving the company millions, all before her lunch break. What do you think is a bigger weakness, arrogance or ignorance? Wayne Fox was suffering from a terminal case of both. He was so consumed by the drama of his own narrative, the brilliant CEO, under siege, that he couldn't read the room, let alone the woman who was planning to buy it. This was not a love story, not by a long shot. It was a tragedy of ego. He was looking for a wolf in shining armor, a rival owner who was as loud and bombastic as he was. The idea that his adversary could be a quiet, demoted woman sorting files was laughable. He completely missed the surprise that was brewing, the shocking truth of her secret identity. And so, he continued to strut, to yell, to be the boss, while Selina continued to work, to watch, and to win. He was playing checkers, convinced it was chess, while she was playing a completely different game he didn't even know existed, a game that would lead to his redemption or his ruin. Life in the basement wasn't a punishment, it was an education, forced into a lower, menial position. Selina Baker continued to work with dignity that baffled the few who noticed. She wasn't just enduring, she was excelling. The archives, once a black hole of data, became the most organized department in the company. But her talents couldn't stay hidden, not even in the dark. Soon, the real problem started finding her. It began as a whisper. A desperate analyst from finance, humiliated by the boss for a projection error, sought refuge in the archives to hide his tears. Selina, without looking up from a ledger, quietly pointed out the data point had missed. It was a life-changing catch. The analyst corrected the report, became a hero, and told no one how Head found the answer. But he told a friend. Soon, a demoted manager from logistics showed up, panicking over a supply chain nightmare that was about to cost the company millions. Wayne Fox was screaming for answers, and his teams were failing. Selina spent 20 minutes on her terminal, found a lost shipment that was miscoded, and rerouted it. Problem solved. No drama, no fanfare, just a quiet click of a keyboard. She was a company's secret weapon, an undercover fixer. She was solving major problems that Wayne's other Hype-A teams couldn't crack. They were too busy playing the corporate drama game, trying to avoid blame. Selina was just solving. She was demonstrating an excellence that was shocking in its simplicity and power. She was, in essence, still the best manager in the building. This wasn't about revenge. Not yet. This was about principle. It was about redemption, not for her, but for the work itself. She couldn't stand to see inefficiency. Her secret identity as the rival owner was almost irrelevant in these moments. She was, at her core, a builder, and Wayne's company was falling apart. What's wild is that the credit for her fixes went elsewhere. The analysts and managers, terrified of admitting they got help from the demoted woman in the basement, would present the solutions as their own. Selina didn't mind. She wasn't playing for applause. She was playing for the whole company. This boss-employee farce was becoming more emotional by the day. She was proving that true worth isn't about the title or the office, it's about the work. It's a lesson Wayne Fox had long forgotten if he ever knew it. He was busy planning hostile takeovers, while she was quietly holding his company together with tape and brilliance. The plot twist was that the owner was acting as a foundation, while the boss was acting as a wrecking ball. This quiet excellence, this unwavering dignity, was a stark contrast to the chaos upstairs. It was a surprise to those who saw it, a beacon of competence in a sea of fear. And eventually, even the most arrogant boss can't ignore a light that bright. Even Wayne Fox. It's hard to ignore a miracle, even if you're the one who tried to bury it. The solutions to his biggest headaches were appearing out of thin air. The logistics drama that almost cost him a quarter? Solved. The financial projection shocking him and his board? Corrected. Wayne Fox wasn't stupid, he was just arrogant. And even his arrogance couldn't hide the pattern. He demanded to know who was fixing these unsolvable problems. The trail, after much terrified finger-pointing, led to the archives. It led to the demoted manager he had personally humiliated. He didn't believe it at first. It was a surprise, a joke, but the evidence was undeniable. He started to watch her, not as a boss watching a failed employee, but as a man witnessing an anomaly. He saw her quiet efficiency, her unwavering integrity. He watched her on the security feeds a boss move, naturally, expecting to see a broken woman. Instead, he saw a focused professional. He saw her help a junior exec, her posture radiating a calm authority his VPs lacked. He began to feel a strange and confusing pull toward the woman he so carelessly wronged. This was not in the corporate drama script had written. This feeling was new. It was a respect. Not yet. It was intrigue. It was emotional equivalent of finding a diamond in a coal scuttle you'd kicked over. He started to notice things had missed, the way she carried herself, the fact that she never, ever complained. She just did the work. She was the only person in his company who seemed to operate without fear. This was a life-changing realization for a man like Wayne. His entire empire was built on fear. But Selina Baker, the woman with nothing left to lose, was immune. He was the owner of the company, but she was the one who seemed to own herself. This quiet strength was more compelling than all the loud power players in his boardroom. This strange pull was the beginning of something dangerous. It was the first crack in his armor. He was the boss. She was a demoted employee. That was the order of things. But his mind kept drifting back to her. Why did she stay? Why did she still perform? Was this some elaborate game of revenge? Or was she something more? He didn't know, of course, about her secret identity. He didn't know she was the rival owner playing him. He just saw a shocking enigma. And for the first time in a long time, Wayne Fox was genuinely, deeply curious. This plot twist was entirely internal, a shift in his own perception. The love story hadn't begun, but the prelude was playing. It was a confusing, dissonant melody. He was drawn to her skill, her integrity, the very things he had tried to crush. He was the boss, but he was slowly realizing he might not be the smartest person in the building. A shocking thought, and one that would lead to his redemption or his downfall. In any corporate drama, when the boss shows interest, the sharks smell blood. A jealous executive, a weaselly VP named Marcus, saw Wayne's newfound curiosity in Selina Baker. Marcus, a man whose entire career was built on kissing up and kicking down, saw Selina's quiet competence as a threat. Or, more accurately, he saw an opportunity to curry favor with the boss. He decided to set a trap. He arranged for a critical data file one, that Selina was now responsible for managing to be accidentally corrupted. It was a subtle sabotage designed to make her look incompetent, to make her fail in the one area she was supposedly excelling. He wanted to prove that the demoted manager was, in fact, a failure and that Wayne's interest was misplaced. He wanted to be the hero who caught the mistake. The drama unfolded quickly. The corrupted file triggered alarms all the way up the chain, directly impacting a major project Wayne was leading. It was a shocking breach. All eyes, including Wayne's, turned to the archives. Marcus made his move, loudly pointing the finger at the employee in the basement, the one humiliated and clearly out of her depth. He was practically demanding her revenge firing. But Selina Baker, well, she's not just a manager, is she? She's the secret owner of a tech rival. This kind of digital sabotage was child's play. She had, of course, kept her own backups. Not just backups, but logs. She handled the attack with a grace that was almost unnerving. She didn't panic. She didn't get emotional. While Marcus was crowing about her incompetence in Wayne's office, Selina was calmly restoring the data from her private, secure backup. But she didn't stop there. Oh no, she traced the digital fingerprints of the corruption. It took her less than 10 minutes to find the source Marcus' own executive terminal. The plot twist was just delicious. She didn't send an email. She didn't make a call. She simply walked up to the 40th floor, a place she hadn't been since she was demoted, and entered Wayne's office without knocking. She placed a single printout on his desk. It was a log file showing the exact time and IP address of the sabotage. It was undeniable proof of Marcus' deceit. Wayne looked at the paper, looked at Marcus' suddenly pale face, and then looked at Selina. She stood there, calm, poised, and powerful. She hadn't just fixed the problem, she had exposed the real corporate drama of the deceit festering in his own executive team. She didn't say a word. She didn't have to. The surprise on Wayne's face was absolute. She had handled the shocking attack with grace, precision, and zero drama. In one move, she had saved the project, exposed the traitor, and shown Wayne Fox what real competence looked like. This wasn't revenge. It was just truth. She had just given him a life-changing lesson in integrity. And the boss was, for the first time, truly speechless. The fallout was immediate. Marcus was gone before the end of the day, a shocking and public dismissal that sent waves through the company. But the real drama wasn't the firing. It was what happened next. Not just at any dinner, but to the CEO's inner sanctum, high-stakes corporate dinner. The one with the billionaire partners and the cutthroat investors. She's just a junior employee. This is not normal. This is a surprise. And for an undercover agent, surprises are bad. But she knows she can't refuse. This is her best chance to get close to his inner circle, to gather more evidence. This is the ultimate rich man, poor woman scenario. What does she even wear? Her closet is simple and kind, not corporate royalty. She chooses a simple, elegant butt-modest dress. It's the only thing she has that's remotely appropriate. She's not trying to be a princess in a fairy tale love story. She's an agent on a mission, walking into the lion's den. She's just trying to blend in and not be seen. She walks in. The room stops. Not in a good way. The room is glittering with diamonds and designer labels, a sea of superficiality. And Luna stands out like a sore thumb. She's a sip of clean water in a room full of expensive, toxic champagne. The other women, draped in couture, look at her like she's a stain on the carpet. The drama is immediate and palpable. She can feel the judgment. They don't just look. They talk. Christopher's wealthy partners, and especially their wives, are ruthless. They openly mock her. Is she staff? One sneers. Darling, that dress looks thrifted. Another whispers, not so quietly. She is humiliated again. But this time it's not by the CEO. It's by his entire venomous world. And they're vicious. Christopher Brooks is watching all of this. He sees his partners, his peers, being their awful, snobbish selves. He invited her here. Why? To test her? To show her off? Or maybe, deep down, he wanted her to see his world? He sees the mockery, and he feels a flash of something. Shame? Anger? He's the Richmond who created this Shark Tank. He's exposed her to this. Luna Carter feels the stares. She hears the whispers. She is cornered. This is 1,000 times worse than the boardroom. This is personal. This is an emotional assault. She's a poor woman in the rich man's castle, but she is also a trained agent. She takes a deep breath, holds her head high, and refuses to give him the satisfaction of her tears. She's here to work, even if the workplace romance vibes are bizarre. This is awful. It's that high school cafeteria to Mesa Billion feeling. We've all felt like the outsider at some point, right? What one word describes those partners? Vile? Insecure? Trashy? It's a shocking display of elitism. You just want someone to put them in their place. This romance is feeling less like a love story and more like a horror show. The vipers are circling. They think they're about to tear this simple employee apart. They think she's weak. But Luna is not just an agent, she's a woman of substance. She's about to defend herself. And she's not going to use claws, she's going to use her mind. Christopher's about to see, in real time, the difference between rich and valuable. One of the partners, feeling bold and wanting to impress the CEO, decides to confront her directly. So, Luna, he says, his voice dripping with condescension, what exactly do you do for Christopher? The implication is disgusting, reducing her to a plaything. The table goes quiet. This is it. This is the moment they expect her to crumble. This drama is reaching its peak. This is a public attempt to see her humiliated for their sport. Luna doesn't snap. She doesn't cry. She doesn't even get angry. She simply turns to him, looks him dead in the eye, and with quiet dignity, she answers him. Not the implied, ugly question, but the real one. She starts talking about market volatility, about a niche area of data analytics. She dismantles his entire investment portfolio politely in 60 seconds. It is a masterclass. At the end of the table, a key investor quiet. Older man everyone fears perks up. He's been ignoring the drama and the snobs. But he's listening now. He challenges Luna on a point. She counters, respectfully, with data head missed. A real conversation starts. By the end, he's not just impressed, he's laughing. He raises his glass. Well, Brooks, he booms. This employee of yours is the only person here worth talking to. The table is stunned. The snobs are humiliated. It's the most shocking plot twist of the evening. Luna Carter, the poor woman, just won the respect of the biggest whale in the room, all without raising her voice. She proved her worth, not with a designer label, but with her brain. It's a heart-touching moment of pure, unadulterated competence. She didn't need revenge, she just needed a platform. Christopher is floored. He's watching this agent. This woman command a room that terrifies his VPs. And in that moment, he sees his own world for what it is: snobbish, superficial, and weak. He sees his own snobbery. He, the CEO, the rich man, feels small. He's not just impressed, he's starting to feel the first, dangerous, and very real spark of a workplace romance. This is the moment the rich man, poor woman dynamic shatters. He sees her, not the employee, not the agent, he still doesn't know that. He sees Luna, and he realizes with a jolt that she is everything his world is not authentic, brilliant, and real. This is a true beginning of the love story, a romance built on a foundation of profound respect. Boom. That's how it's done. Give this a like as a sign of respect for the quiet dignity of Luna Carter. She didn't just win an argument, she won the war. It's the ultimate brains over Buck's victory. We love to see it. This is a kind of redemption that feels good. She exposed them for the fools they were. This night changes everything. Christopher is captivated. Luna is conflicted. This CEO is not the man she thought. This emotional journey is getting complicated. But the drama is far from over, because someone else was watching this exchange. The rival executive, the one, she got fired. He's been digging, and he's just discovered her secret identity. Remember that rival executive? The one Luna so brilliantly and quietly took down? Well, he didn't just disappear. He's been stewing. He's been digging. He's obsessed with the employee who humiliated him. He's on a path for revenge. He starts looking into Luna Carter, trying to find any dirt to destroy her. He's expecting to find a fake degree, maybe some petty theft. He's not expecting to find a government file. And then he finds it, a digital breadcrumb, a server connection she thought was clean. He pulls a thread, and the entire undercover operation unravels. He sees it all. Luna Carter isn't just an employee. She's an agent, a federal agent. The shocking truth is laid bare. He is terrified. He thought he was playing office politics. He just stumbled into a federal investigation. He's not just scared of her, he's scared of what she'll find on him. He's not clean. Nobody in this company is. Fearing exposure, he acts fast. He began boasting to her, as if she were his secret confidant, his partner in crime. We're going to crush them, he whispered to her after the meeting, high on adrenaline. They're weak, he continued, pacing with predatory energy. They've been making all the right moves, been a real thorn in my side, but they made one fatal mistake. Selina felt cold. What's that? She asked, her voice barely a whisper. Wayne grinned. Their owner. It's anonymous. No face, no name. Just a secret coward hiding behind lawyers. I'm going to find this secret owner, and I'm going to rip their company out from under them. The plot twist was so brutal, so emotional it physically hurt. He was boasting to the secret owner herself. He was using her strategies, her brilliance, to fund the very attack designed to destroy her. This boss, this man she was, God, what? Starting to like? He was using her to kill her. This wasn't a love story, it was a Greek tragedy. She saw it all in that shocking moment. He hadn't changed. The respect had shown her. It was conditional. He respected her mind, but he didn't respect her. He still saw her as a demoted employee, his pet genius, not his equal. An equal he would rival. A subordinate he would use. He had no idea. He was so completely, utterly blind to who she truly was. He was attacking her and asking her to help him load the gun. The drama of it was surreal. She had been humiliated by him once, publicly. This was a private humiliation, 1,000 times worse. This was a betrayal of a trust she hadn't even realized she had given. Her heart, which had tentatively started to open, slammed shut. The revenge plot, which had softened into a redemption fantasy, was now back on, full force. But it was no longer about business. This was emotional. This was about his complete and total blindness. This was the end. It was the shocking silence that he noticed first. After his boastful declaration, his grand surprise attack on his rival, he expected. What? Applause? Admiration? He expected his new partner, Selina, to be impressed. Instead, she just looked at him, her face a blank, pale mask. The light had come to admire in her eyes. It just went out. It was a life-changing moment, but he didn't know why. Selina? He asked, his arrogant smile finally faltering. She just shook her head, a tiny, almost imperceptible movement, and walked out of the boardroom. Not stormed, just left, as if she was a ghost, and the drama was over. He was confused. This demoted manager was supposed to be grateful to be in the room, not walk out on the boss. The next morning, the real chaos began. Selina Baker was gone, not just called in sick. Gone. Her desk in the archives was clear. Her apartment was empty. She had disappeared. No 2 weeks' notice. No forwarding address. She had vanished, leaving both her job and, more shocking to him, Wayne, in a state of stunned chaos. It was as if the building's gravity had failed. Projects she had been advising him on ground to a halt. The emotional center he hadn't even known he was relying on was just gone. He was furious. How dare this employee abandon him? He had humiliated her, yes, but he had also respected her. Hadn't he? Had brought her into his inner circle. But the plot twist was that her disappearance was just the beginning. As Wayne was tearing his office apart, his phone rang. It was his board. It was his lawyers. The hostile takeover bid had just announced. It was failing. Spectacularly. It wasn't just being resisted, it was being systematically, brilliantly, and ruthlessly blocked. Every move he made, his rival, Apex Solutions, had a countermove already in place. It was as if they knew his playbook. It was as if they knew his strategy. The secret strategies he had developed, the strategies Selina had helped him perfect. The cold realization hit him. This wasn't a coincidence. This was revenge. This was the false of Dorota, the moment the boss realized he was never the boss at all. He was a pawn in a corporate drama, so vast he couldn't see the edges. He was devastated by her departure on a personal, emotional level he couldn't yet admit. But he was also being professionally annihilated by the secret owner of Apex. He had been played. His arrogance, his undercover mentorship, his respect. It was all a joke. He had been humiliated in a way he couldn't even comprehend. He had just declared war on an enemy, only to find she had been living in his house for months. The redemption he was starting to feel. It was a lie. And the love story? It was a shocking, brutal fantasy. The devastation was total. Wayne Fox, the boss who had never lost, was now losing on every front. The corporate drama was no longer a game, it was a rout. His hostile takeover, the rival, was dead in the water. Every financial move he made was countered. Every legal threat was met with a stronger one. The secret owner of Apex was playing a shocking game of chess and had just been checkmated. But the business loss, as catastrophic as it was nothing. It was an emotional void. The silence in his office was deafening. He kept turning to ask a question, only to realize Selina wasn't there. He was realizing, in a life-changing wave of agony, that he had fallen in love, not just with her mind, with her strength, her quiet, her integrity, the woman he had humiliated, the employee he had demoted. He was devastated by her departure. It felt like a death. He had finally found one person who wasn't afraid of him, one person who made him want to be better, and he had, in his ultimate act of arrogance, boasted to her about destroying her. No, wait, a rival. He didn't know the truth yet. He just knew had driven away the only person had ever truly respected. This wasn't a plot twist, it was a tragedy. This love story was a drama of his own making. He had treated true love like a hostile takeover, and she had, rightly, pulled her shares. The redemption he was starting to feel was incomplete. He had changed, but not enough. He had respected her, but he hadn't seen her. Now, consumed by a new obsession, he turned his company's resources inward. He wasn't investigating his rival anymore. He was investigating Selina Baker. Who was this woman? This demoted manager who had held his company together from the basement? This undercover genius who had disappeared like a ghost? He hired the best private investigators. He needed to find her. He needed to apologize. He didn't even know what he needed. The investigators started digging into her past, back before she was his employee. They looked for family, for school records, for any trace. And then the call came. The investigator was audibly shaken. "Mr. Fox, you're not going to believe this. We found her. Or we found her secret identity." Wayne's blood ran cold. "What are you talking about?" The investigator took a deep breath. Selina Baker isn't her real name. It's a variation. A cover. Her real name. Well, let's just say she's the owner. The owner of what? Wayne barked, his patience gone. The line was silent for a beat. "Apex Solutions, sir. Selina Baker is the brilliant, anonymous secret owner you've been trying to destroy. The shocking truth, the ultimate plot twist, the rival, the demoted employee, the love story. It all crashed together in one devastating, emotional moment of perfect, horrible clarity. The phone would have slipped from his hand if he wasn't gripping it with white-knuckled terror. The words echoed in the sterile silence of his office. Selina Baker is the owner, the secret owner, the rival, the woman he humiliated, the employee he demoted, the woman he loved. It was a shocking, physical blow. He actually stumbled, falling back into his 10,000 office chair, as if it were a life raft. His mind flashed back, a high-speed reel of every interaction, every condescending word, every arrogant boast the corporate drama had created. Her silence when he demoted her, her quiet brilliance in the archives, her patience, her grace under pressure, her undercover genius. It wasn't patience, it was reconnaissance. It wasn't grace, it was control. He saw it all now. He hadn't been teaching her, she had been studying him. He thought he was the boss, but he was a subject. The boss-employee dynamic was a shocking farce. He hadn't been falling for a manager, had been falling for the woman who was actively planning his demise. This was revenge on a scale he couldn't even comprehend. He felt the shame first, hot and acidic. He had humiliated her, the most brilliant mind had ever met, and had sent her to the basement. Then the regret, that emotional, life-changing regret that hollows you out. He remembered his boast. "I'm going to find this secret coward." Had said that to her face. He was consumed. The plot twist was so perfect, so complete. This wasn't just a drama. It was a masterpiece. Her masterpiece. He, Wayne Fox, the corporate predator, had been played, dismantled, and emotionally conquered from the inside out. He had been trying to destroy her, and she had just let him. Let him show her exactly who he was. Frantic, he ran the investigation again. Her past. The shocking truth was undeniable. She had built Apex from nothing, undercover, while everyone assumed the owner was a man. She had worked at his company years ago, left, built her empire, and then come back as a simple manager. Why? To learn? To destroy? It didn't matter. The why didn't matter. What mattered was the what. What had he done? He had taken the one person who could rival his mind, the one person who had touched his heart, and he had treated her like garbage. This wasn't a love story, it was a horror story. And in that moment of total, crushing surprise, something in Wayne Fox finally, truly broke. The arrogance, the ego, it all shattered. He wasn't the boss. He wasn't the owner of anything that mattered. He was a fool who had just lost the only thing that felt like true love, all because he was blind. The redemption he thought he was working towards felt a million miles away. The man who walked into the office the next day was not Wayne Fox, not the boss everyone knew and feared. He was a ghost. His emotional devastation was a physical aura. He didn't speak. He didn't yell. He walked straight past his board directors, who were waiting to do damage control on the failed takeover, and into the press room. He called an emergency press conference. The room filled in minutes. The drama of the failed Apex bid was the biggest corporate drama of the year. The press smelled blood. They expected excuses. They expected spin. They expected the arrogant Wayne Fox to blame his manager, his team, the market. Instead, they got a life-changing confession. He stood at the podium, looking small, and he said, effective immediately, Fox Industries is canceling its hostile takeover bid of Apex Solutions. Unconditionally. The room exploded in a shocking flurry of questions. Why, Wayne? Are you admitting defeat? Is your rival too strong? Wayne held up a hand. The silence that fell was heavy. This was not a business strategy, he said, his voice raw. It was an act of personal arrogance, and it was wrong. He was consumed by regret and shame, and he didn't care who saw it. He was humiliating himself in the very room where he used to crow. This was his public penance. I have learned, he struggled, that the owner of Apex Solutions is a person of incredible brilliance and integrity, and my predatory tactics were unworthy. He was risking his own company's reputation, his stock price, his legacy, but he didn't care. This wasn't about the boss anymore. This was about the man. He was in real time proving his change of heart. This was the only move he had left. It wasn't a plot twist to win the company. It was a surprise move to win. What? His soul? His redemption? He was publicly canceling the takeover, a move that would make him look weak to the entire world, all to prove to one person that he had heard her. He didn't mention her. He didn't say her name. He didn't expose her secret identity. That was hers to keep, but he knew she'd be watching. Oh, yes, the secret owner of Apex would be watching this drama with keen interest. This was his message to her. It wasn't a love story declaration. It was an apology. He left the podium without taking questions. The shocking news hit the wires in seconds. Fox Industries' stock plummeted. His board was apoplectic. He had just committed corporate suicide. But as he walked back to his office, he felt lighter. He had demoted himself. He had finally, truly, given up being the arrogant CEO. The revenge was complete, but it was his own. The public drama was one thing, the private redemption was another. Canceling the takeover was the easy part, a shocking but single act. The hard part was, what now? Wayne Fox was a man without a mission. His rival had one, though she hadn't claimed the victory. His love story was a tragedy. His company was in freefall. He had to find a way to win back Selina's trust. But how do you find a ghost? She was the secret owner of a multi-billion-dollar corporation. She wasn't just findable. And even if he could, what would he say? He, the powerful CEO boss, was now the one with no power. She held all the cards. She was the owner. He was just the man who had humiliated her. He had approached this not as a boss, not as a CEO, but as a man, a demoted man in his own heart. He had to find a way to show her. He finally recognized her true worth. Words were cheap. Had used words to build his arrogant empire and to tear her down. He needed an action, a life-changing one. He started by working, not the corporate drama work of takeovers, but the real work, the work she had been doing. He went down to the archives. He read the report she had fixed. He talked to the junior analyst she had helped. He started to learn about his own company, really learn it from the ground up. He was, in essence, following her undercover path. This was his emotional journey. He was trying to see the world through her eyes. He was finding his redemption in the details. He realized, with a shocking clarity, that he hadn't just been a bad boss to her, had been a bad boss to everyone, had been an owner who didn't deserve the title. He sent her one simple message to an anonymous email address his investigators had found, one they assured him only the secret owner of Apex would see. The message had no drama. It had no begging. It was just, I see it now. I see you, the work you did, the company you built, the person you are. I was wrong, and I am sorry. He didn't expect a reply. This wasn't about revenge or a plot twist. It was about truth. His truth. He had to lay down his arms completely. He had to prove he was no longer the rival, no longer the boss. He was just Wayne, a man who finally understood. He was a man who recognized her true worth, and in doing so, was finally starting to build his own. He was waiting, not for her to save him, but for her to see that he was trying to save himself. The next move was hers, and he knew, whatever it was, it would be shocking. The day of reckoning arrived. The annual shareholders meeting. The room was not just full, it was a powder keg. After Wayne's shocking public cancellation of the takeover, the stock had tanked. The board was furious. The investors were screaming for blood. Wayne Fox, the once invincible boss, walked the podium, fully expecting to be fired. He was ready for it. It was the price of his redemption. He began to speak, not with his usual arrogance, but with a quiet, emotional humility. He owned his mistakes. He talked about his blindness, about a corporate drama of his own making. He was in the middle of his mea culpa when the main doors of the auditorium swung open. A life-changing silence fell over the room. A woman walked in. Not just any woman. The shocking surprise was total. It was Selina Baker, but not the demoted manager in the simple clothes. This was a woman of power. She wore a tailored suit that radiated authority. She walked with confidence that stilled the entire room. She was not the employee. She was the owner. She walked right up to the podium, and Wayne, after a single, heart-stopping moment, stepped aside. She took the microphone. "Good morning," she said, her voice calm and clear, ringing with authority that left no room for doubt. "My name is Selina Baker, and I am the secret owner and CEO of Apex Solutions." The plot twisted the room like a physical force. The gasps, the drama, it was palpable. His board looked like they'd seen a ghost. Wayne just looked at her. He had humiliated this woman, and now she was here. But the look in her eyes was a revenge. It was business. "Mr. Fox and I," she continued, "have been in discussion, and we have come to an agreement. Fox Industries will not be acquired. Instead, we will be merging." She announced a merger on her terms. Apex Solutions, the rival, was the dominant partner. She was, in effect, taking over, but she was doing it in a way that saved him, that saved the company. She wasn't destroying him, she was joining him. She was rewriting the boss-employee narrative into a love story of corporate equals. The room was in chaos, but Selina held up her hand. "My terms are simple," she said, her eyes finding Wayne's. "A new company, built on transparency, built on respect." She had him. She had won. But what she was offering was a revenge. It was a redemption for both of them. All eyes swung from Selina Baker, the secret owner who was no longer a secret, to Wayne Fox, the boss who was no longer truly the boss. The corporate drama had reached its shocking peak. The plot twist was complete. Here was the man who had humiliated her, and the woman who held his entire future in her hands. What would he do? Would his arrogance return? Would he fight? Wayne looked at his board, at the shocked faces of the shareholders, and then he looked at Selina. He saw the manager had demoted, the employee had wronged, and the owner had come to love. He took a step forward, not to the podium, but to the center of the stage. He was no longer hiding behind a title. In front of both companies, in front of the entire financial world, he did the one thing no one, least of all Selina, expected. He did not talk about the merger. He did not talk about the rival. He talked about himself. "She's right," he said, his voice thick with emotional weight, but she left one part out. "I didn't just run this company with arrogance. I was a monster." He turned to Selina, and the drama became a deeply personal love story. "I publicly humiliated this woman. I demoted her. I treated her with a disrespect that shames me to my core. I was a boss who deserved to lose everything." He was confessing, not for redemption in her eyes, but for redemption in hers. "Selina," he said, and the name was a prayer. I love you. I fell in love with you in the archives. I fell in love with your mind, with your integrity. I was just too blind and too arrogant to see the true love in front of me." This surprise confession was more life-changing than any merger. This was his undercover heart, finally revealed. Selina's eyes, which had been all business, softened. The owner, the manager, it all melted away. She saw the man, the one who had finally, painfully, found his redemption, the revenge she had planned. It had burned away, replaced by something far more powerful. She walked over to him. The room held its breath. She didn't say a word. She just extended her hand, not for a handshake, for his. He took it, and in that moment, the boss-employee dynamic died forever. "So," she said, a small, shocking smile playing on her lips, "I guess this makes us partners." The room erupted. The shocking plot twist became a love story. Selina Baker, the secret owner, had accepted his apology. They were creating a new corporate empire, one built not on fear or drama, but on a foundation of mutual respect. And true love, what a life-changing story. It just proves that true power isn't about the title you hold, like boss or owner, but about the integrity you keep. It's a reminder that sometimes you have to be humiliated or demoted to find your true worth, and sometimes you have to lose everything to finally find true love. If you also believe that respect is the ultimate superpower and that redemption is always possible, then you found your community. Subscribe to our channel and join the family that knows real strength is often undercover. Like this video as a sign of respect for Selina's journey. Comment below with the exact moment you think Wayne's redemption truly began. And share this emotional story with anyone who loves a shocking plot twist. And while you're waiting for our next story, know that this channel is a vault of life-changing dramas just like this one. Explore our older videos to find other incredible love stories and shocking journeys. We are always searching for the next great story. So to make sure you don't miss what's coming, hit that notification bell. You won't want to be left out of the next emotional ride.